guys? Are you ready to go on a huge adventure? Yeah, I bet you are. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm down this way. I'm tiny now, aren't I? It's ironic this way. Let's start the review. Hey there, guys. What's going on? It is me, DaBoss, here with another gaming review for all you lovely people of the internet and the channel. Before we get into the video here today, guys, I just want to thank you for clicking on the video, as it always helps. However, guys, for today's gaming review, we're going to be reviewing a series that is close to my heart, yet a game that's pretty dang old, actually, especially considering the console that it was put out on. Hey, guys, we're going to actually be reviewing, lo and behold, the Crash Bandicoot Huge Adventure game on the GBA. Nice transition there, wasn't it? But yes, guys, I've been thinking about doing this game for a little while. The Crash GBA games are actually very few. They only made about 2 from memory. This one and the sequel that it got. But if I ever get my hands on that game, we might review it in the future. But I've been playing this game a lot more lately, and I felt like I haven't done a Crash review here on the channel in a while. Especially considering the last Crash review that I did was absolutely terrible. Not the review, the game. But you get the point. But I hope you guys will enjoy watching this review, as the next video that's coming out on the channel is my viewers pretty much destroying me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look back and you'll see exactly why. But Friday, we'll be able to see all your great responses. Or later this week, anyway. But either way, guys, let's just get right into the current day review. So the main way to review any real game, I feel, is in like about a couple simple steps: the gameplay, the graphics, the controls, which I guess could go in with the gameplay, and story. So today, that's how I'll be breaking down the various points of the Crash Huge Adventure game, and let's see how it goes. So the first aspect that I want to talk about with the game is the story. Now, the story of the game, for a GBA game, you're not really going to be expecting much. I mean, look at the size of this thing, guys. And if you guys have seen the GBA, which you probably should have by now, it's not exactly like a PlayStation or an Xbox. You're not going to have a huge ton of, like, gaming content on there. But for this game, it's actually pretty dang good, especially for the GBA. The story is pretty simple. It's not the greatest story in the Crash universe, but essentially, Cortex and Uka Uka invent a device to shrink the Earth called the Minimizer. Ha, great name there. They shrink the Earth, and Cortex just decides to crush it to destroy Crash. Like, this is his new plan, shrink the Earth. Would have been great if he would have destroyed the Earth, but he didn't, and considering how he even shrunk himself, the battle crash in the game, it's pretty sad, considering how he had the world literally at his fingertips, but he didn't do anything about it. But essentially, Crash, and with the help of Aku Aku and Coco, his sister, they have to go and gather crystals to power a machine to undo the shrinking effects and defeat Cortex again. Now, again, the story isn't the best game in the game. It's more like a follow-on. It's not the main focus. The gameplay, I feel, is more the main focus of the game instead of the story. Story's not really that integral to the Crash timeline anyway. But still, though, for a GBA game, it's okay. Second aspect I want to talk about is actually the graphics of the game. Now, again, it's not a PlayStation or an Xbox. You're not going to be getting those amazing 4K graphics on a Game Boy Advance. Unless if you ever find a way to do that, please let me know, because I'd always love to see that. But seriously, though, the graphics are pretty good. They're not exactly like 8-bit, like N64 graphics, but they're more in between, I would say, between modern-day graphics and N64. For the GBA, it's actually pretty dang good. Just all the worlds and stuff that you get to explore in this Crash, the models look pretty dang good. The jungles, the space levels, the temple ruin levels that you have to go through, the ice worlds that you have to go through, the chase sequences where Crash is on the back of Polar running away from what looks like the abominable snowman. They just all run really smoothly together for the GBA. Graphics look really good. They have a lot of really good effects throughout the levels, especially with the music, too. The music and the graphics hold up pretty dang well, I would say, for a GBA game, and it's just really, really cool to go and see. The music is actually pretty original for the game as well, because a lot of the music that they have for the game, it's hard for me to describe. It's similar to a lot of other Crash games, most notably Crash 2, for the level designs that they have and for the music, but it's original to the game, and it's definitely composed differently than the other games in the Crash series. I feel like it's the best way for me to describe the music. It's original, similar to Crash 2, but a little bit different, if that makes sense. But overall, the music and the graphics, I feel like, are pretty good. And as much as I have loved some of the stuff they've had so far, the story is iffy, and the gameplay and the graphics and the music are great. Unfortunately, the controls in this game, and I know that I'm judging this as a GBA game, and I know that it's not a controller or anything like on a PlayStation or an Xbox, but the controls kinda sometimes suck. The game as a whole actually controls fine. Crash sliding, him jumping, the movements and animations that you have in the chase sequences, they all are very Crash-esque, and it's really weighty. Like, when you're playing the GBA, it feels like you're controlling a mini version of Crash, which is a good thing, which I think the controls are very good in that regard, especially for a Game Boy Advance. Unfortunately, an issue that I had with the controls was the jumping. The jumping in this game is pretty varied, especially for a slide jump where you have to slide and jump over a platform or a ledge or something like that. A lot of the times, the game won't register those, and sometimes, if you play this game, or if you have played this game and you know what I'm talking about, sometimes you'll slide off the ledge and the jump won't register. Sometimes the jump will register and the slide won't register, so you end up careening off the edge anyway. The jump is 50-50 on really tight platforms, like on a metal box, where you have a metal box here and a huge platform over here. You'll try and slide. Oh, except you'll slide just straight off the side, because the game won't register the jump and they'll already assume that you're in air already. So the controls here are kind of an issue, especially when you're going on getting the colored gems, or you're going on time trials or something. Time trials are probably the most annoying aspect of it, because when you have to complete these obstacles to get to the end of the level in a certain time to get the relic, and you fail, guess what, bucko? You gotta redo the entire dang level again because the game messed up. And sometimes it was my fault. When I was playing the game, I've been playing it for the past couple days, trying to get a feel for the review, trying to feel like I could properly talk about some of the stuff involved with it. Some of the times were my fault. Sometimes I don't think I registered the controls, well enough. But the game screwed me over a lot in that regard. And I hate to say it because I really do love it. It is a good Crash game. And overall, it really is. But the controls, there are just issues that just needed to have been worked out, I feel, especially with the jumping and the sliding. But overall, guys, taking all the things that I've said into consideration for today, with the gameplay and the music being pretty dang good, the controls being alright for the most part, serviceable and pretty dang good, except for a couple of different moments with the jumping and sliding, and the story being in regards to Crash, I would say that this game is pretty good. I would say if I had to give a number rating on it, like I usually do at the end of these, I would give the game a 7 out of 10. Because, again, overall, for a good GBA game, it's classic, it's great, but there are just issues that you can't ignore, and some of the stuff with the story doesn't make sense, like using screenshots from previous games, like from Crash 3 and Crash 2, that don't make sense to the story when they say, oh, space station. You mean the one they destroyed in Crash 2? You mean a mysterious space station? Don't you mean the... Why are you showing clips from Crash 3 when you're in the warp zone? It didn't make any sense. And they could make original cutscenes. They have original cutscenes for this game in-game. I don't know why they couldn't make original ones, but overall, that's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Pretty good Crash game and a pretty good GBA game, just has its fair share of issues. But either way, guys, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy this review, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new with that bell notification on if you want to catch my future streams and videos. And in the comment section down below, if you let me know what you guys thought of the review and or the game as a whole, if you guys have played it. Or even if you haven't, let me know what you guys think of it. If you agree with me, disagree with me, just your thoughts overall. And yeah, I'll leave you off with that, guys. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, bosses.